Hello everyone, welcome back to some more Let's Play Deus Ex Shifted with me, your host Tim. And we just got done with Battery Park. We're now here in Hell's Kitchen in New York, and we are working with Paul in order to bring down an NSF base of operations here. One elicits a power generator, supplying them with something. Power, obviously. So let's get out and get exploring. Oh, hello. Nothing on the body. We found it, though. Oh, that's awkward. Oh, no! There you go. That is so creepy! We're gonna get used to that. Where if you pick up the body and then drop it, then it starts to bleed. That is so creepy. Oh man, it's like they're all cocoons. Oh wow, look at this. Wow. Apparently many people are dying in this area. Well, to be fair, there's riots everywhere, right? I guess the streets have been... Oh, that's right, Paul mentioned he cleared the streets here. So what else do we have? What else do we have? We have a candy bar. I guess we'll hold on to it. Can't hurt to hold on to it at the moment. Oh, but we don't need it on our hotkey. Let's replace that with this one instead. A medkit. I am not renowned for using medkits, by the way, during combat. They require several clicks to make that work. And they're not guaranteed to heal what I need the most. They'll distribute it equally, I think.
Do something, man. They're gonna kill him. Nothing. I checked his pockets. You don't live underground and not have one of Charlie's cards. Make him take off his shoes.
I just sleep down there. They don't give you money unless you're on the council.
Take off your shoes. Charlie has no reason to be stingy if he has a currency encoder.
They just hacked a few accounts. They have some extra cash, that's it.
I'm not asking again.
It's just a bunch of us. We go down there to get out of the cold.
All right, we'll do it the hard way.
Son of a...
No, you guys don't get to shoot that poor guy just for money. I'm not letting you mug him and then run away. Get out of here with that. A sawed-off, 2 buckshots, 3 darts, and a PS-20. Man, he lost a lot of blood, but I guess he'll be okay. I definitely want to keep the PS-20, and we don't need the candy bar. With that in mind, we might as well put, I guess, this here like this. Wow, good for you, man. You're a real trooper.
Did you see that?
Yes,
That was uncalled for. You mug people, great. You need the dough. But you show some respect.
What were they after?
Especially when it's your ally. They came to us. They wanted an underground base.
So those guys were NSF?
Yeah, the NSF gives guns to anybody who wants to fight. A lot of people just take the guns and do what they want.
So the terrorists are based in the subways? The sewers?
They need to move some kind of secret equipment. Our tunnels are like the crossroads.
Tell me how to find this base, and I bet I can get the NSF off your back.
Underworld. Just remember that word when you see Curly. He lets people in.
Okay. Well, we now have a password for this area, so let's go ahead and make another bunch of logs for Hell's Kitchen. Hell's Kitchen, passcodes, pins, and email logins. But I'm pretty sure we don't need this one. I think this is, I believe that's a spoken password, which means that now that we know it, we were told it, we should always know it. And this is too good not to try to do at least a few times. I think something special happens if you actually manage to get the basketball in. It's been a long time since I played basketball. Wow, 20 years. Let's see if I'm still any good at this. looks like I'm off a little bit to the side. Okay, well, no good. I think if you get the basketball in that hoop, something special happens. Like, I think there's some cheering or something like that. Sign him up for the Knicks. And 3 darts on this gentleman. So we covered, I guess, all the darts that we used.
Next manhole I see, I'm going underground, and I'm not coming up.
Makes me wonder how big the sewer system actually is, because from the sewer systems I've seen, you do not want to live down there.
Back off, man.
Oh, okay.
What I do?
Absolutely nothing, sir.
I ain't bother no one.
Nope, you're not.
I ain't bother no one.
Okay, he just wants to be left alone. Court upholds New York grid law. New World Press, Washington, D.C. In a landmark 6-3 decision yesterday, the U.S. Supreme Court upheld the controversial grid zoning laws that have been the subject of a number suits since being instituted 6 years ago. Originally passed by the New York legislature in 2046 in response to the Upper West Side bombing that killed 45 people and wounded over 100. The grid zoning laws effectively allowed the police to wall off regions of Manhattan and its surrounding boroughs. Foot traffic between these zones is prohibited, and traveling between zones is restricted to authorized subways or highways subject to police surveillance. Wow. A travesty, said Gil Treble, representing the ACLU as plaintiffs in the case. This law is nothing more than the legalization of social oppression on a grand scale. Supreme Court Justice Makin wrote in his favorable decision that the unfortunate nature of American liberty is that freedom creates opportunity for terror. It is with heavy heart that I must conclude in this case that the freedom of individual Americans must be balanced against the needs of a community to feel safe and secure. That could be misused in any number of ways. Holy crap, that is terrifying. What involves safety? What would safety be? How would you be able to tell if a community feels safe and secure? What does that mean? Just immediately what brings to my mind is, let's say that a group of people have a different definition as to what constitutes being a racist, and people become unsafe because they feel that certain people of certain backgrounds shouldn't be here anymore. They feel unsafe in their presence, and then they limit those people. That law would have let something like that happen, given an extreme. I also can't imagine that they would, well, I mean, of course, this is all fantasy, but wow. I can imagine something of the sort being tried, given that most of the time such horrible laws are created in response to a horrible thing happening. What is... Oh! I remember this. Okay, everyone. Yeah, we're gonna do this now. So, this is a way down to a certain gentleman that we will want to visit. Now, these doors here require 2 lockpicks to pick the lock open, but the door strength is not 100%. We can probably use a lamb for this, so let's do this. Oh wow, we opened up another door too. That might be something. Let's see what's in here. Hey, a pod charger, that's awesome. We have, looks like 6 prod chargers. We'll have no trouble knocking out people now. Alright, so let's go on down here. 50 experience points for exploring.
Watch it, JC. Our agents report that this area is booby-trapped. And the latest news? Your brother's team hit some resistance, so they're going to be delayed a little while we bring in chopper support.
Thank you, Alex. Booby traps. So that's one of 2 things. There's either laser laser eyes around here. In other words, just beams of light that I don't want to trigger. And or there's a possibility of there being lambs in the area. Lambs will be really bad, because I probably won't notice them until I walk right on top of them. Speaking of that, let's save the game. Okay, so we have lasers to worry about. These will not hurt me if I walk across them. However, they will open something, probably, or trigger something, probably that door. I seem to remember there being a security bot. I would like to go past those wires, though. Let's see if we can find any way to trip them. Tool, fire extinguisher. Electronic control panel. We have tons of multi-tools. Let's go ahead and use one here. I think that sounds like that disabled it. Awesome. Cool. I remember this. Oh man, So we broke into this area through a back way. Oh wow, ballistic armor. You can also get into this via the front, a different way through the front, but you need the passcode in order to have the gentleman who we're about to meet open the door for you. No matter how you decide to enter this location, however, the rod charger, you will have to bypass that security anyway. I get you, rat. I get you. There he is. I'm glad he doesn't seem to mind that we just got past his security system, killed a rat right outside his door, or now inside what I'm supposing is his place. Hello, sir.
What do you want?
Why the booby traps? Afraid of something?
Just precautions.
Against what?
Government's been having some kind of crackdown all year. People I know, they've been disappearing.
Is that so?
Think it's a big joke? Lift up a grate in the street. They got my friend Ford Schick in a secret lab next to the sewers.
A lab? In the sewers? Maybe he was taken hostage by the NSF.
These guys are pros. Definitely government funded.
Interesting. Maybe I'll take a look. But I think you should have a little more regard for the United States government.
If you're serious about going down there and finding Ford, I'll give you a deal on some hardware. Also, you'll need this. It's the key that can open the sewer manholes.
Tell me about the hardware.
I have a scope that will fit most handguns and rifles for 2,200 credits, a bioelectric cell for 800, and some light amplification goggles for 3,500.
Oh, I don't need any of those things anyway, and that's way too expensive.
Too expensive. Maybe I'll try to locate your friend.
If you come back, you can use the front door. The password's Bloodshot.
Thank you, sir. While we're here, we'll explore your place a little bit. I don't think people mind if you take things even directly in front of them. I don't think anything's, like, locked to them. It's, I believe, you examining books, accessing their computer terminals, or data pads. I don't think you're allowed to do those things. In either case, we can see what he has upstairs. Oh, hello. No one should just leave ammunition crates out in the middle of nowhere. Not breakable ones, anyway. Oh, look how awesome you look. Oh, hello. The security keypad requires 2 tools. I've got 6 tools? I'll come back for that, I think. I would like to check out to see what's happening with his friend and see if he's telling the truth anyway. We gain a lockpick and some books. Let's read the books. The Reluctant Dictators by Travis Crockett. Introduction. Organized at the end of the American Revolution on May 13, 1783, by General George Washington, the Order of Cincinnati was ostensibly formed as a fraternity to recognize the accomplishments of those officers who had served with distinguishment during the Revolution. However, the true purpose of the order was the cultivation of a military force ready, willing, and able to accomplish a coup d'etat if the fledgling American democracy began to stumble. Skeptical at the viability of the United Democratic System, Washington took counsel in the story of the Roman general Cincinnatus, who was called from retirement to serve as dictator for 16 days during the defense of Rome, after which he returned home to his farm. In the wake of the revolution, the United States was vulnerable to any number of outside forces, and Washington felt that a strong central authority had to be present that could assume control of the government if necessary, and temporarily suspend the Constitution if required. Washington resigned as president after only 2 terms in office, but remained president of the Order of the Cincinnati till his death. The order still exists to this day, a shadow organization of the wealthy and powerful that has been linked to any number of other organizations, ranging from the Illuminati to the Trilateral Commission. Well, that's interesting. Order of Cincinnati? I'm gonna look that up, actually. I'm curious if that's actually a real thing. As far as I'm aware, that was just put into this game. I've never heard of this before whatsoever. Like, not even any rumors or any hints that such a thing was even made up before. It's been a while since I've read these books, so... The Modern Terrorist Handbook, Section 7C, Computer Virus Cultivation. One tool or weapon not to be neglected in the arsenal of modern terrorists is the use of computer viruses to cause disruption to major city services and infrastructure, or other targets of opportunity. Current heuristical viral stalkers are effective against modern polymorphic hothouse engines available from many sites on the Undernet, and can be easily linked to IP tunnelers for a cheap, effective denial-of-service attack, or, with some programming skills and icebreakers, a mutagenic crash-and-grab bird can be grown for the retrieval of specific info from unfortunate victims. The following pages will discuss some of the more typical viruses, such as the Bandersnatch V128, Ulysses Dilemma, and 109. Ah, this mother came up here. I don't feel right going through his books when he's actually up here, so we'll read the last one when we return. There's going to be a ton of conspiracy theories stuff in this game as we go on. By the way, I'm also curious, can we lift up the sofa? No. Yes! Okay, so we can lift it up as long as our microfiber muscle is activated. So, back to an earlier bit about one of the posts on the public terminal. I thought it was really interesting how, well, how foreigners are suspected of being not American. It seems weird to me, because this is America. The vast majority of us living here aren't from here. We come from other places, unless you were a Native American. So what qualifies as foreign? Does that mean recent visitors? Or immigrants, I suppose you could say? It seems, I don't know, it's a really odd thing to take. Let's save the game again. I'm gonna stop and start recording really quick. Okay, we're back. A long time ago, it used to be celebrated how different everyone was, and you would be, here in America, you would hopefully introduce people to your countries and or nations, your celebrations, or what you believed in, stuff like that. This way, everyone learned from each other. But it seems like these days, everyone's becoming more separate. Rather than incorporating each other's histories, backgrounds, thoughts, and information, we're trying to keep them all separate from each other instead. Like, as if we're stealing from each other. That seems a little wrong to me.
Denton. Hey, it's Denton.
You want these?
What? Give him the grenades.
Look, I know he's your brother, but...
Your brother gave us these things. Look at this. Irritation to all exposed mucous membranes. What's that gonna do?
Just tell Paul to give us bullets next time.
Here's one. Prolonged exposure can damage the bronchial pathways. Prolonged exposure? It's like giving them cigarettes or something.
Look, do you want these things?
This sounds like gas grenades, and I would love to have gas grenades.
Sure, hand them over.
Here you go, with my compliments. Good luck.
Nice. We could definitely use those. no. Oh man.
It's a living.
It is, I guess. Look at this street. Back then, where back then was year 2000, this was still amazing, and we used our imagination to imagine this being a realistic-looking street. Now, of course, look at this street. It's like 2 buildings, and there's no possible way you could drive on this whatsoever. Then again, it is year 2046. Maybe cars operate a little differently than I'm used to. Oh, hello. Shooting into the thick of combat is generally a very bad idea.
We'll take it from here.
Nice work, guys.
What's your business here, Agent?
Just going up to my brother's room.
You better hold off. The NSF retreated in there about half an hour ago, and they've taken hostages. We're waiting on a specialist.
I'm your specialist. Just tell me where the hostages are being held.
No one's standing in your way, but you'll have to go in alone. Our orders are to hold the perimeter. We think the terrorists are on the 2nd floor.
Carry on, Corporal.
Agent?
Oh, okay. So this must be the Ton Hotel. So we'll take a peek in there after I've done searching all the bodies here. So Zine, some more darts, a nano key, Osgood & Sons front door key added to nano key ring, and a bunch of other stuff. Oh, in the area, I'm searching everything else. Shotgun, or tranquilizer darts back again. We don't need any of this stuff. We don't need the shotgun. We won't need the assault rifle. We won't need either of these either.
Quiet. I think we got cops.
I don't think we should hold back in a situation like this.
But you guys don't think we should hold back at all. Oh, another battle. Okay, I helped with that one too, even if I didn't get the last kill on him. J-Soul Dragons, House of Pain, the Ultimate Gentleman's Club, 5th Street at Broadway. Wow, NSF are just trying to buy time, I guess, here. Some pistol ammo.
All clear.
Good work, guys. 4 crossbow darts.
We took them out.
We did. I noticed that. We'll search all the bodies here. Oh, nice. My darts still hang around? One tranquilizer dart and 1 normal dart. Some buckshot as well. I guess that's it here. Wow, we will never run out of tranquilizer darts at all. In fact, I probably don't even need to worry about collecting them ever in this version of the game. Because even my tranquilizer darts will be recoverable as normal darts, it looks like, after, or if I use them. It's mass chaos out here. Battles happening everywhere, I guess. So we can always sneak down there if we need to, for some reason. Alright, so let's check out the... Oh, hello. The hotel. Commander Fraz. UNATCO has regrouped more quickly than I expected, and is beginning to a coordinated assault on our position along with local police. They will certainly overrun our defenses eventually, but they must be delayed until the next phase of the mission can be completed. Your men will be responsible for guarding the tunnels leading to the generation station. Dig in and arm all available automatic defenses. I don't need to tell you what's at stake. Good luck. Wow. So they really are just trying to bide some time. And they're... wow, with their lives. I mean, I guess they are... while they are killing UNATCO agents, they're not being very effective at it.
We'll have to get the city out here to clean up the mess.
Yeah, you'll have to. Like 1 UNATCO agent for every 2 NSF members. They can't possibly hope to match those odds. Actually, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for them dead here.
Don't take any unnecessary risks.
I won't. We should be fine. Let's save the game. Should be careful. There's terrorists inside here, holding people hostage. We'll search all of this. We'll do a proper search later. Hello, terrorist. Unless he's doing that for me, there's a terrorist staring right at him. Yeah, it sounds like he's on the other side of that wall. Okay. Damaged Kimba. That's how you call it. What you say. Yup, there he is. Let's see if we can't hit him. Careful, this will be tricky. I think we can get him. This is very tricky. Where did that go? Just barely hit the side of the... Oh, it's an invisible wall? Oh, we'll never get to hit him then. Okay, let's walk up slowly to here, and then we'll wait.
Fascist. Oh. God damn.
Whew, are you okay, sir?
You all right, Mr. Renton?
Fine, be careful though, they've got more hostages up on the second floor.
I'll check it out. How's your daughter? Is she somewhere safe?
I don't know, she's been gone all week, I try not to think about it.
Tonight's a bad night to be on the streets. I'll take a look around.
Hey, if you see Sandra, tell her I don't care. I don't care what she's been doing. She can come home, no questions, no speeches.
Sure.
A rate of fire mod. Wow, holy crap. What can we put that on? By lubricating key mechanisms, many firearms can have the rate of fire increased. Drag over weapon to upgrade. Weapons highlighted in green can be upgraded with this mod. We'll definitely save the game again. We'll read all this stuff again when we come back. So they're upstairs, and they're probably watching for when I go up there. We need to be very careful with this. I hate you rats so much. Good try.
Help!
Uh-oh.
I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. But you're both alive. Assuming that there was only 2 more enemies up here. We did it, I think. Oh, man. I'm so sorry. It'll be over soon, I promise. Oh, my God. Alright, 2 bullets. Well, at least some of them want to be fired.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Trying to catch my breath.
Thanks for taking care of those guys. You from the police?
UNATCO.
Yeah? Well, you might be interested. I heard them talking. They said something about it, how they had just put in a generator in a warehouse a few streets south of here.
Did you catch the name of the street?
No, but they were talking about their security setup.
Anything interesting?
It sounded like there was underground access. They're using the word righteous as some kind of password.
That's very helpful. Thanks.
Oh, that's awesome. Let's get that down. So, let's see, this will be passcodes. So we don't know the login for this, but we know righteous is the passcode, at least for the NSF. Let's delete this one then.
Thought I was a goner.
So did I. I don't think I ever got that information. I bet you that I don't think I've ever been able to save both of the hostages here. From New York First Federal National Bank to John Palmer. Thank you for choosing New York First Federal Bank. We are excited about your business and the trust you've shown by placing your valuable assets in our care. New York First Federal has one of the most secure banking infrastructures in the United States, an impregnable vault that protects you 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. A complete list of our security protocols and procedures is always available for your perusal at New York First Federal with an IP address. And we welcome any questions or comments you may have. At our bank, we're not just protecting you for today, but also against tomorrow. Your new account number, 543654 and the PIN, 5544. For your protection, I totally had to murder that sentence, we recommend that you do not share this information with anyone and wipe this data clue after committing it to memory. And welcome to New York First Federal. Nice, so we can get some money with this. So this will be a PIN? Actually, no, this is another type of passcode. So this will be 4543654. The password 5544. ATM access.
You just about saved my life.
I did, but don't worry about it. It's perfectly fine. It's got some door strength, so we would have to blow that open or use 2 lock. That door is barred, too. I don't feel like opening up a strange door for 2 lockpicks. Maybe we can find another way into that room.
I'm gonna wait here till things settle down.
That's probably a good idea. It's like if someone's playing a video game in one of them. Someone's watching a sport game, I think, on that door. Bellevue reports increase in admittance. New World Press, New York. Bellevue Hospital has reported a 50% increase in the number of patients admitted over the last 3 months compared to the same period last year. A disturbing trend, said Dr. James Campbell, and one that's stressing our personnel to the limits. Many of those admitted are homeless, that the police can't or won't deal with, some of them afflicted with the Great Death. We simply don't have the facilities to deal with those cases, and most of the hospitals refuse to accept them. Many have linked the outbreak of mental illness to a recent rise in recreational drug use, in particular, the new designer drug, Zyme. Speaking on condition of anonymity, one public official said that Zyme has simply become
saved my life.
A threat to public welfare. there have already been discussions with Washington on a zero-tolerance solution. Others have suggested chemical contamination could be the culprit, suggesting the recent chlorine spill that has rendered the East River almost lifeless. Oh wow, that could be a case, and if the homeless are still drinking that water, that would probably do it. That's a very pretty building. Wow. Paul must never be in his home if it's... But this is pretty empty to me. Well, compared to my home, I guess. Vishnu's Fall, a brief history on the Indian crisis. After the bombing, Indian officials issued a series of stern warnings to Pakistan that were rebuffed with denials of responsibility and dire threats that any attempt to use the bombings as a pretext for military action would be met with force in kind. From the viewpoint of the present-day historiographer, this was a crucial event, a game of brinksmanship that had been played between Pakistan and India many, many times before, and so, while tragic, it is also easily understood how clear signs of the impending catastrophe might have been ignored. Like two kids shoving each other on the playground, the historian Alistair Brooks. You never expect them to come to blows. That was before Pakistan began the trials of the Calcutta 16, and both nations descended into a maelstrom of political upheaval that would eventually culminate in the exchange of nuclear warheads. Wow! Holy crap! I don't know much about what's happening over there in Pakistan and India, other than, yeah, those two countries do not get along with each other very well, from what I remember reading. Wow, so in this universe, nuclear fire was exchanged between the two countries. I can't even begin to imagine what that would do to our planet. Like, in today's situation, wow, that would probably involve a great many allies jumping onto both sides to assist them. I can't imagine anything but a Third World War would start if that ever was to occur. Quick note, if you need help with work, check the painting on the wall and count back from 4. Gotta run. P.S. You've managed to keep the casualties to a minimum so far, but I know it hasn't been easy. I've left you a baton I modified that should make use of minimal force less challenging. Oh? What is this? Blackjack. A standard baton modified by Paul to be a formidable weapon while still meeting his non-lethal weapon needs. The interior has been filled with a heavy material, possibly lead shot or even iron rebar for authenticity. Wow, nice! We have an actual solid weapon that can be used to knock out enemies. This is probably one of the few modded weapons that this mod has introduced. I don't ever remember this being here before. Well, while we're here, why don't we go ahead and edit our goals and notes. And we have a new pin number. I still prefer the tranquilizer, I think, to this item, even though I've never used it before, but the tranquilizer is a guaranteed stun. So yeah, it does 16 base damage. I think I'd rather have my stun. It is really neat, though. I do like this idea. But we've been pretty good so far on the avoiding combat. Looks like soy food, some pots and pans. Bring him over here. Hello. Oh, this is incredible. We have his computer terminal here, some ballistic armor. Hey Tim, didn't have a chance to get you your own net account, so feel free to use mine in the meantime. Login is P. Denton, the password is Chameleon. Make yourself at home, and I'll see you soon. Sure, let's get that information down as well. So, P. Denton would be Paul's login. P. Denton. The password is chameleon. I don't know how I spell that. You know, it's really nice that all of your standard copy, paste, etc. can be used on this. That shows a lot of dedication the developers had to letting you try to use all this note stuff. I don't think I need any of this stuff, really. I mean, we can take... You know what? Let's take 2 med tools. I guess we'll take a lockpick as well. I'm sure while we're here, we might as well do this. Pete Denton. And it is chameleon. Sweet Charity, miss you. I left a message on your machine, but wanted to follow up. With both of us traveling, it's hard to get together, isn't it? I miss you so much. I'll make it up to you when I get back. Oh, wait, your brother's staying with you, isn't he? Well, just wait until you're alone. We'll work things out. Promise. Kisses. Oh, good for him. He has a, he's got a love. Korvac Incorporated. Spam. Tired of life? Hello, friend. Has life become too impersonal, too tedious, too painful for you? Then now is the time to exert control. To make that decision, which is ultimately the only real choice we ever have. The decision to die. Some may describe this as an act of selfishness, but with the dwindling reserves of natural resources throughout the world, you're actually contributing to the well-being of all those around you. A recent bill passed by the United States Congress even authorizes a one-time payment of 10,000 credits to your chosen benefactor upon passing away. So do yourself, your family, and your friends a favor and visit any one of the Korvac Incorporated clinics in a neighborhood near you. We'll help you make a difference, quickly and quietly. Sincerely, Derek Schmidt, Director of Development, Korvac Incorporated. Wow. Wow, I would like to comment on this. What can I say? That's fascinating to me. That we've reached, so in this universe, they've reached a point in which there are simply too many people on the planet. There's not enough. I guess we're having food shortages and whatnot as well. And so a solution, quote, quote, to this is to pay people to kill themselves. That's amazing to me. I can't believe anything like that would ever happen, let alone that lots of people would take advantage of it. I suppose for the extraordinarily poor and those who would also feel hopeless, they might actually take this in order to give money to their children or their family members. I have some serious reservations about bribing people to kill themselves, though. That seems really wrong to me. You only are alive once. You should really relish it. Jamie Ray, settled in yet? Hey Tim, I thought I'd help you unload your boxes, but I'm tied down trying to get one of the medical analyzers working. Damn thing nearly lasered off one of my fingers. Catch you later with a beer, maybe? Jamie. Oh, why is that sent to... That was sent to Paul. Why does it say, hey Tim? That must be addressed to Paul. This must be a mistake. Network Administrator. Message undeliverable. Did not reach the following recipients. Juan, on some IP address. Unable to deliver message due to communications failure. New York. Boron T. Ada, unknown recipient. Message as follows. I'm definitely worried about the test results. There are some implications there that I'm afraid to pursue too much further. I'll talk to Tracer. Proceed with caution. P. Account verification. Classic movies. Mr. Denton, we've received your order for Blue Harvest, and see you next Wednesday. At your earliest possible convenience, please remit 110 credits, at which point they will be shipped immediately. Thanks for your business. Marcy Pygron, Vibrant Videos Incorporated. I've never heard of these. I'll write these down. Blue Harvest. See you next Wednesday. When I was younger playing this game, it never even occurred to me that these might be actual real movies or books that I could read. I'm interested to see what they might actually contain. No reason to leave his door wide open. Let's see what else we have. Nothing there. got some credit chips underneath his table. That feels wrong stealing them, so I'm not going to do that. That was weird. I thought I could actually interact with something there. That was just the closet turning. Anything on the phone?
Paul, I know you said no phone messages, but South Street's going up in smoke. We'll have to meet at the subway station. Paul, I know you said no phone messages, but South Street's going up in smoke. We'll have to meet at the subway station.
That wasn't me he was talking to. Well, we found him at the subway station. Oh, this is a nice, spacious bathroom. Holy crap. Must be a real pain in the butt though when it gets cold outside. I don't see any heating in this entire house. Must be an awesome hotel. CIA Fact Book 2050 Hong Kong. Economic overview. In the decades since Hong Kong has been returned to Chinese control, it has seen its economy thrive under the newly resurgent authority of the Chinese central government. Led by a thriving technological market in human augmentation technology, the real gross domestic product has peaked every year since 2041, with all forecasting models predicting that this trend will continue well into the next decade, if not beyond. However, the statistics do not present an entirely accurate depiction of the state of the Hong Kong economy, as they will fail to depict the flourishing gray and black market that operates with at least the detached approval of the Beijing regime. While political oppression continues to present a major and ongoing problem to those living under Chinese rule, enterprisism is alive and well in the form of organized crime, as has always been the case. Anything and everything can be had for a price in Hong Kong. Many of these criminal organizations can trace their lineage directly to the triads that have existed for thousands of years under China and Southeast Asia. That's pretty fascinating that these effectively gangs, I don't even know what you would call them. I guess the equivalent of mafia for them have been in existence in this universe since their early inception. God knows how long ago. Makes me wonder if these things actually do exist, you know? Okay, well, let's save the game now that we're done with all that, and let's go ahead and explore the very flashy hallway. Everyone, if you have seizures, be aware that this is going to be a terrible room, so look away for like 4 minutes or so. So here we go. So, I think I want to go up first. I think there's like a nano tool up there, or a lockpick. Gotta be careful we don't just die, which can happen to us. Yep, a nano tool. Always explore everything. Man, my head is hurting looking at this. Another net multi-tool. Wow, we have 10 of them. Okay, we can't get anything else here. That's the very bottom. Oh, it occurs to me there's no elevator here whatsoever. It was just removed outright. Well, I guess that's for the best. Like, if it's broken and it's not going to be repaired, you don't want anyone accidentally using it.
I think that's all of them. You got the guys upstairs?
Yeah, you can have your hotel back.
The hotel. Good. Now we just have to kick these punks out of Manhattan.
My brother Paul's heading up the operation. The NSF won't have New York for long.
Or at least not this area of Hong Kong. Oh, that must be his daughter. Good for him. He's really happy about her. We have a few more things to read really quick. What is this? The Man Who Was Thursday by J.K. Chesterton. First of all, what is this really about? What is it you object to? You want to abolish government? To abolish God, said Gregory, opening the eyes of a fanatic. We do not only want to upset a few... Oh, I can't pronounce this word. Despotisms and police regulations. That sort of anarchism does exist, but it is a mere branch of the nonconformists. We dig deeper, and we blow you higher. We wish to deny all those arbitrary distinctions of vice and virtue, honor and treachery, upon which mere rebels base themselves. The silly sentimentalists of the French Revolution talked about the rights of man. We hate rights as we hate wrongs. We've abolished right and wrong. And left and right, said Simon with a simple eagerness. I hope you abolish them too. They are much more troublesome to me. Wow, that reminds me a little bit about, if you're ever familiar with Warhammer 40k, it sounds a little like the Eldar. Basically undid what it even meant to be good and evil, just to relish in being. Oh, we read that already? We have a key here? What's this? Ton Hotel North Room key added to keyring. Oh, nice. Okay, let's do that. I'm not going to take the money because that's... Well...
I'm going to wait here till things settle down.
That's probably for the best. Wow, I was going to use lockpicks for this, or I thought about it at the very least. Just in case there's another terrorist in here. Have you been saved? I am he that liveth and was dead, and behold, I am alive for evermore. Amen. Join the Net Church of God, and know that your immortal soul will truly be saved, backed up on a data cube and stored in our secure, hardened crypt until the day of rapture. Don't trust your soul to other religions that promise similar services based on vague, ambiguous, and unverifiable promises of forgiveness and acceptance. That whoever believeth in him should not perish, but have eternal life. The exact location of our crypts is a closely guarded secret, but rest easy knowing that they're protected by miles of rock somewhere beneath the Appalachian Mountains. Even in the event of a catastrophe, biblical or otherwise, an auxiliary nuclear generator will ensure that your soul's checksum is verified daily for millennia to come, while surface sensors constantly monitor for the last days when the crypts will be opened and all souls will be free to ascend to heaven. Why trust your soul to anything else? Net Church of God. God at God999.777. Wow, as someone who's Catholic, that's an interesting way to look at things, I suppose. Technically, I guess it depends upon what you would view as being alive, wouldn't it? A copy of your digital fingerprint. I don't know if I would agree that qualifies. Can you put your soul on the computer? What if you could get a system, or like an AI or a program to act like you in every way imaginable, and then you backed it up? Would that effectively be you? Oh my god, dead. Oh, overdosed it looks like. Maybe they killed themselves. We'll definitely take some Zyme. And we have a single locked door. I could throw our other lamb here, but I don't think I want to do that. No, that door can stay. It's obvious that these people who lived here don't have anything of any technical value. You know, about the whole...
Thought I was a goner.
Your soul in a computer. There was a game I had tried to record called System
You
Reboot.
saved my life.
It wasn't a video game that... It was kind of like a puzzle-ish game. I thought it would be a horror, and some parts of it were a little creepy. It had one really fantastic jump scare, or one or two of them. But by far, it asked it was an interesting story type of thing to walk through. It was similar to Dear Escher, but it actually had some interactable puzzles and a few mazes or things like of that sort in there too. So it was a little more involved than just walk forward and win the game. Not that there's anything necessarily wrong with that, if like that sort of game. But it was actually really interesting. I really liked what they tried to do, and I liked some of the thoughts they had there. They managed to... You spent time working on your digital self, and then when you died, it would take over. So people could still visit you, as it were, in this like self-contained network. It was a pretty fascinating idea. So that newspaper reminds me of it. Maybe they killed themselves thinking that their souls are safe.
There were a couple of NSF on the second floor. I took care of the situation.
What about the hostages?
Doing fine. You guys can relax.
Guess we didn't need that specialist after all. Well, I'm glad they made it.
So am I. Okay, so we have to find Mr. R? Mr. Renton? What was his name? We did find his daughter, who's out on the street somewhere. She wasn't in the hotel. I also heard some more terrorists in the Osgood and Sons import, so we'll have to pay attention to that if we decide to go that way. I believe there's a free clinic around the corner from here, so we're gonna stop in there and hang around there and see how the wounded and sick are doing.
All clear.
But we'll call the session upon reaching it. Here it is right here. I think there's a prod right here. We also want to go down below and check out the sewer system and see if the smuggler is telling us the truth, and see if we can save his friend Ford Stick, I think was his friend's name. But we'll do that in the next episode, so thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.